ZX Gear, what's up, good? Good to see you. Ethan, half alpha, slimy. There you go, that's how you do it. Initial killer. God damn it, dude. Can you change your username, dog? What's up, Ethan?
I'm okay.
Good to see you, dude. One sec, I gotta change this guy's.
Where's Gendler?
Seb's here. He's just getting a coffee or something right before he starts. He's good.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, he's here. We were just testing things out just to make sure that everything worked for him earlier.
All right.
Bum 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 bum. Nice. How's everyone's Friday going? Yeah, having a good Friday.
I thought it was kind of brutal.
Was brutal? What was brutal? Friday was brutal. What happened on Friday, dude? Uh-oh.
Exams.
Exams. Okay. How'd you do in your exams?
I had Java exam today.
Okay. How'd your Java exam go?
I feel like I did maybe okay, like 80 or something.
Okay. 80's not bad. 80's not bad.
But that's what I need to ask you something.
What's up?
Do you know what a high level and low level programming language is?
Yeah. So high level programming languages are programming languages where they look more like English. So it's less, funny numbers and symbols and stuff. These typically take a lot longer for the computer to be able to interpret and do stuff, whereas a low-level programming language uses language that's closer to what a computer can understand. So in terms of like the graph of low-level versus high-level looks more like English, but is slower for a computer to run, where low-level looks less like English, it looks more like machine language. Literally, there's a thing called machine language, like assembly, but is faster for a computer run. Yeah. It's a join.
Actually, is SAD high level programming language?
Is what a high level programming language?
SAD.
What is sad? Like seasonal like depression, dude. What is sad? What is sad?
That's a programming language.
It's called sad. It's literally called sad. What's up, monkey? Let's see, dude. What literally called sad? What's up, Jamarcus? Good to see you. What's that? Can I drag? Where is it? What? I just had Zev. I was just talking to Zev. What happened to him? Zip! There he is. Nice.
I was
You're good. You're good.
Changing and moving the lights.
Make it all pretty for us. Yeah.
A little bit better. I also turned off autofocus and just tried to manually focus in on. I'm gonna have to turn this off. Hold on.
You're good. This is our first time having a guest on the podcast, so I'm really excited for this to see how this runs. So bear with us, guys. If there's any.
How does that look on your end?
That looks great. Yeah. Much brighter. I like that. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, I'm a fan of that. Nice. It looks good on the string, guys. Hard echo right now. Oh, I know what's happening. One sec. Let me. I know what's happening. He's got the OG. I like it. Nice. Dude, Discord needs to turn off this default shit of broadcasting. There we go. That should be good. Does that work, Jamarcus? Is the audio better now?
If I disable my camera, I'm gonna disappear from. Yeah. Okay. I see.
That's better now. Okay. Good. Perfect. Okay. And then I'll turn on.
You have like you're gonna need to fix it again. I fucked your shit up.
No, it's okay. There you go.
Because I turned my camera off.
Yeah. There you go. That's good. Okay. Yeah, this is a whole new setup. So we've been spending some time, a little troubleshooting and whatnot, guys, to be able to have live guests on here with us, but not in my tiny closet. I can't really fit more than like one person in here. It's so small.
Wow.
What's up, Ethan?
I get to see a closet background.
Yeah, well, that's not my closet. That's Zev's closet. Not Zev's closet. That's Zev's room. Zev's an adult. He has an actual other room.
Okay, well, yes. I just took a screenshot of it.
They say,
for a
is it?
background.
Oh, because you can see the camera. Yeah, you can see there's another camera where you can see of me as well. Is that Dr. Gold's brother? We are kind of brothers. Haven't we said this? We call each
Yeah.
other brothers. Yeah. I grew up with 5 sisters, so I never had any brothers. So Zev was kind of like my older brother in college. Brother in spirit. Yeah, super cool. All right, cool. Okay. It's all good. Everything's good. Yes. You guys look really alike. Dude, Zev, they say we look really alike.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious. We both have like brown hair, we have facial hair, we have
Both have
glasses.
the beards. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, I'll start it off for everyone. Okay, welcome everyone to the Golden Hour AMA podcast. My name is Dr. Gold. I'm joined today by the wonderful Zev Gendler. Zev is a video game tester, so I know a lot of you guys. I remember when I was your age, kids being like, "Ooh, I want to be a video game tester when I grow up. I want to test video games." Well, Zev's someone who like actually does it as like a job. Like it's a professional thing, and he makes more money than I do, so it's profitable and stuff. So I figured, what better first time guest than to have Zev up here to talk to you guys about like what it actually means to be a video game tester. Zev, do you want to give a little quick intro about yourself or whatnot, and then I'll throw us into like some questions and topics.
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Zev Gendler. You can just call me Zev, it's fine. I chime into his stream every now and then. I have 2 different accounts. One is connected to my Amazon Prime, so I just leave that one, but sometimes I mess, like right now I responded with this Yamanaka Hammer account that I used for streaming a little while ago that I'll actually hop back into it later, but it's like a Naruto character reference. But so sometimes you guys might see me in there. The Gendler is my other account. But so yeah, I don't know what to go
Just a
over real
quick little
quick.
bio. Just quick bio who you are. You know, we've known each other for almost a decade and a half. Yeah, super short version.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm trying to remember
2012
like
probably.
what time frame you would have like girl talk
Girl
release
talk.
date. I'll do that.
Oh, dude,
as
no.
like
I think it was like 2008. I've known you since like 2008, 2009. I think.
Well, the way I can remember it is I was living with Matt, a friend of mine, a roommate of mine, and we were hosting parties and posting them on Facebook and keeping them open and just having anyone come over. And you and your crew of people came over, and I was playing some music from an artist called Girl Talk, which not many people know about. Pretty
not
kind
many
of
people know
niche, not super like popular, but he was known for mashups, right? And I was playing him.
Yeah.
Gio recognized that the artists, and that kind of like started a conversation between us. And it looks like his albums were released in like 2008 timeframe.
Yeah, I remember GT
So it must
like
have been
Feed the
around then.
Animals. This was a good one. Feed the Animals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love this
yeah.
I love this album.
So it was like 2008. Then yeah, that's 16 years now. That's a long time.
Dude, wow.
Yeah, Gio came to one of my parties in college, and then we just clicked and became friends and continued hanging out from there. We both went to UT.
Yep.
I did a degree in biomedical engineering with just a BS. I'm not as smart as Gio. With the
I get pretty dumb.
Yeah, I moved to Idaho after graduating because I got a job at a company called Micron. Maybe y'all know what that is. Maybe you don't. They're a semiconductor company, so they make RAM and SSDs. They sell their parts under the name Crucial. So
so they make all the RAM. Yeah, we know Crucial RAM. I didn't know Crucial was Micron.
Yeah, Micron on its own is not like a consumer-facing brand. You don't go to Best Buy and buy Micron memory. They sell it under the Crucial brand.
Oh, it says Crucial by Micron. Crucial by Micron.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never noticed that. That's cool.
Micron itself, their customers are like Apple, Samsung. It's interesting, actually. A lot of companies interchange their semiconductor materials and stuff, but they're really big in like the auto industry as well. Like every car uses their RAM. But in terms of Crucial, that SSDs, RAM, whatever. But the job, I did not like it.
Yeah, you did not like that. You're like, fuck this.
Decision. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe later on during this conversation, we'll get to the point where you learn over time. People say like, do what. if you like the job, it's not work or whatever the hell the phrase is.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah, yeah.
don't just settle for something just because it's necessarily the smart decision. Granted, you have to like balance that with like how to pay bills and all this whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you still gotta pay rent.
I took the job because it was the smart decision. Good pay, good benefits, whatever. But like day one, I was like, this fucking sucks. I'm not gonna like this, but I'll try to like muscle through.
Suck it up.
So after
Buy a
3.5
house.
years, I was able to get a house and all this stuff, and that's fun and that's nice. But like, I wasn't happy. So,
Someone in the chat
all
says
the things-
doggos. You have all the doggos. Someone said he has doggos.
Yeah,
Husky.
yeah. There's 3 of them. One of them was just walking in, and there's another big one right here laying down. But later on, I can.
You can get them out for the camera.
Get,
That'd be fun.
get them on camera. But yeah, after like 3.5 years, I was like, enough is enough, and I quit. And I had enough money to kind of like take care of things, if just like while I tried to figure things out. And I stumbled onto, well, I learned about this company that I worked at called Lionbridge that they're what's called like a service provider or external vendor, where they don't make games. It's not like you go buy a game made by Lionbridge, but they provide different types of quality assurance. So game testing is a subsection of an industry called QA, quality assurance, but that can be applied to anything. Lionbridge does a lot of stuff with localization or translation of products, whether it's software, gaming, whatever. But in terms of game testing, they were starting a project. They already had an office in Boise where I live, but they were starting a games division, I guess you could say. So I stumbled onto it by really weird happenstance. Through some family members, they were on a plane and they were sitting next to the CPO, chief people
See
officer, head of
something.
HR.
Some C-level sweet guy.
Yeah, and like, oh hey, this is what I'm doing. Oh, I know someone in Boise, and then like they connected, and I got her information, and then I basically started over a professional career like at the entry level, ground level. I was 32 when I started there.
It's never too late
as a
to
game
start doing
tester,
what
and
you
I
actually want to do. You know.
Yeah, and the idea, the thought process behind it was like, I've never done game testing. I don't have any coding experience outside of a little bit in college, but by no means am I proficient in that. I don't have any graphic design knowledge. I don't have any game design in general, but I've grew up playing games. I'm passionate about it. I love the gaming industry. At the time, I was already like well into, knowing about Twitch and, StarCraft in Korea, and, gaming esports is growing and blah, blah, blah. I'm like already aware of it. And, I wanted to see if there was a way to like get into that into the gaming industry somehow. So I applied, and some of these questions that y'all sent me, we'll talk about it later, but there's no real requirement to start. You just we can go into it. But because I had professional experience of some kind in terms of working at Micron, and I have a college degree and I'm older, whatever, it was pretty evident that I could be relied on and good enough to start as an entry level tester. So that started, and it's not going to be all sunshine and roses and all awesome all the time, but it was like indicative that this was a way to get into that industry. So
that's cool.
That's how I kind of moved around a little bit, trying to figure out what I want to do. And
life's a journey of just going around. I mean,
real.
You'll do something, you'll be like, oh, I fucking hate this, and then some people get stuck in that until they retire and die. But we don't do that. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you found something you like. Eventually. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go on. So and then there's some other fun questions. I'll address the fun other questions in the chat that come in later. But so what I had you guys do on the Discord is a couple of you submitted like topic questions that we're gonna ask Zev that we'll maybe answer some questions you guys might have about what it means to be a video game tester, or how the environment is. So the first one was from Initial Killer. His name in our and then what do you say? Okay, what is the worst game experience you've had as a tester, and what is the best? Can you tell us why you feel this way, and how you needed it to change, and how you felt it needed to change?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the last part was asking, how you felt it needed to change, but I guess maybe
Initial. You can type in the chat if you can type in the chat, Initial, if you want to, or also I can bring you on stage if you request.
Like, you sent me these questions and I already have notes and like answers.
Good.
And stuff. So like worst experience. But also real quick to preface, so like I started as a tester, but I really only stayed in that role for about, I don't know, 8 to 10 months, which I'll talk about. One of the questions is talking about like, can you make money and blah, blah, blah. And I
Yeah.
talk about like opportunities and growth and stuff. So I wanted to move past the role of testers. I wanted to like lead teams and help others and run projects and whatever. So I kind of went the route of like people management, team management, that type of thing. In terms of testing, um, once you start moving into more bigger roles, you don't really spend as much time
You're not actually playing the games.
in the game. Yeah. So, but I still did do the work. I was at every level. So, in terms of worst game experience as a tester, kind of a general catch-all is when you're in this industry and depending on when you're working on a project on a game, where in its life cycle it is, it could be
What are the different life
unbelievably.
cycles, Mabel? Maybe if you could give a quick little side lesson.
Well,
What are
no,
the
this is
different
like a general
cycles?
term, like beginning, middle, end, near release, or
Okay.
in like pre-alpha, whatever you want to call it. Like in the very beginnings, there will be times where you're getting builds, copies of the game on maybe a weekly basis, bi-weekly, daily, whatever it is. There'll be times when it's in such a terrible state, it's very unstable, where you can't even get the game to launch. You receive it,
Oh no.
and you follow all the instructions to get it going, and then it doesn't. It just, for example, you launch the game and it crashes on launch, and it's just really frustrating because you literally can't do any work, right? And it's
Yeah,
just
you're just sitting
annoying because
there.
it's out of your control, and there's nothing you can really do about it. At the same time, that is like a silver lining where you don't have to stress about it's not your fault, you didn't do anything wrong per se.
Right,
But
right.
in terms of like worst experience, that's annoying as hell. But in terms of worst experience in QA as a whole, or at least my experiences so far, is anytime that you have to deal with security issues or leaks. Um, I started in 2019, the summer of 2019, and then we continued in 2020 during the pandemic, during COVID, when everything was work from home. And shockingly, I didn't expect us to be able to do work from home
Yeah.
because we're working on IP, intellectual property, that hasn't been released yet, right? So security is a big deal. It's not. It's always a big deal, but it's much more easily controlled when you
Yeah, there was
work
like
at
a
an
separate
office.
room, right? Where you're like, oh, like if we go into this room, they have the PS5s like locked up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean everything's like key, uh, key coded and gated, and like
Yeah.
you only have access to rooms where you're supposed to
You had
go.
to like
Every
sign
company's different, but
NDAs.
generally
Like,
speaking, you badge in, and then you're
yeah.
only supposed to go where you're supposed to go. You don't bring anything in, you don't take anything out.
Right, right.
But that's at the office. When we're doing work from home in 2020 for like 2 years, people are at home with the copies of these games, of whatever the hardware, all this stuff. It was shocking that uh that we were able to get by without any disasters, because people are just at home. We can't control what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They could just get on their phone,
Take pictures
frickin'
like, yo, look, this is gonna be
record
Modern Warfare
whatever,
4.
upload builds and like design documentation, whatever it may be. None of that really happened, surprisingly, during this pandemic. But during my first project, as a tester, I was working on NBA 2K20, and like
Ooh, NBA
week
2K.
two.
That's cool. Yeah, 2K.
Yeah, I mean, if you like basketball games,
Some of the kids really do here. Yeah,
week two, there was a leak at the office because at the time, the guy running the project, this is when I was just a tester, like the manager at the time didn't enforce any real security guidelines, which is a big issue. Um, going into the testing area, being able to bring your phone and all this stuff, it's like a major red flag. And some kid like recorded some footage of the game on Snapchat that got onto YouTube. The client, which was 2K, found out about it, and it was very obvious where it came from. So that basically caused the project to end much earlier than it would have normally. Like the super short version of how these things work: LimeBridge, external vendor, they get hired on by a client, whether it's a big publisher, indie, whoever, to work on their game. So typically these are contracts that are for X amount of time.
Right.
And there's lots of stipulations. And one of them being, if you guys fuck up, then we can cancel it early and you guys owe us a bunch of money or whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
So this like first project in Boise that was supposed to be like the spearhead like pilot program ended hella early because like really early on there was a leak.
Because some
The
dumb
guy,
kid
the
just
test
posted on
manager who was
Snapchat.
running this got fired.
Oh no.
We were supposed to run for probably 6 months, 9 months. It was only 3 months. It was a shit show. So that's very stressful.
Yeah.
when as a tester you don't worry about it too much, but it does affect everyone's jobs. Later on when you become a lead, a manager, whatever, and you hear about something potentially happening, it's like red alert, whatever, get all hands
All
on
hands
deck
on
to
deck,
figure out
yeah.
how to mitigate this. When I was on Modern Warfare 2, one of the testers started streaming at home, like on as day off, or post on YouTube talking
Yeah.
about, oh, I work at Lionbridge and I've been doing this. And there's a like a line that you don't cross in
Yeah.
terms of what are you allowed to say, what you aren't. And typically the very simple version is once the game's out, you can say, oh, I worked on that. But you typically never talk about the specifics.
Of like, yeah, what company I'm working
Because
at.
that's just how the NDAs work. So
Yeah.
thankfully nothing was actually leaked, but it was like very close to that. So we had to like
Kind of discipline the
contact
guy.
this guy. He wasn't at work, like get a hold of him to have him like take down his YouTube videos, all this stuff. It ended up not well for him, and thankfully nothing actually happened. But
Yeah.
those are the not so fun or the worst experiences.
Someone
I
says this
guess. In
happened with
terms of
GTA
best,
6. Was there something with GTA 6 that was a similar leak? I mean, do you remember seeing in the news or something? Something
I never worked on any of the GTA titles,
Oh,
but
okay.
GTA 5, I think, was like source code got out or something
Oh,
with
no.
6. I don't know. I didn't follow it too much.
Okay,
I
okay.
just,
Okay.
but there is something that happened with that. Yeah.
And you said your best thing? Sorry,
In
the
terms of
best experience?
best
Yeah.
experience, I mean, there's tons of fun stuff about it. Getting to work on content that hasn't been released yet, get to see
Mhm.
the design behind it, how things are made, seeing future content, working with hardware that you normally never get to work on in terms of dev kits, things of that nature. But I think probably the best overall is getting to see your name in credits
Oh,
later
yeah.
on once the game is released, kind of
Yeah.
validating all of the work and effort and time you've put into it. It
That's
gives you
cool.
a better perspective on, like, I'm sure everybody's been to a movie, right? And you just leave after the credits or wait for
Yeah.
the
Who's best
post-credit scene
boy?
and then
Like,
you
I don't
just
care
leave
about the best grip.
because yeah, who gives a shit, right? But in reality, once you kind of work in some kind of industry where there is that thing,
Sure.
you get a much better appreciation of, like, look at all the
Do the
all these
credits only
people.
happen when you beat the game? Isn't that usually what happens? You beat the game and then they roll the credits? Like if you beat the
That's
single player?
typical, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes nowadays you can just go into some kind of
Menu.
extras menu, whatever, and just view game credits. But yeah, that's typically how it works. Sometimes credits are also available online, like Halo Infinite was done in
You
such
worked
a
on
way
Halo
that
Infinite, right? You worked on Halo Infinite?
yeah, when we joined that project, they had already. It also depends on like how the client wants to, how like proactive they are in updating it, because
Oh yeah,
updating
look,
credits is a
we have
pretty
you here, dude.
low priority.
You're on the credits here,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. So that took like 2 years for the credits to be updated, and it's only online on Waypoint, what you pulled up right now.
Yeah.
I worked on this game in like 2021, whenever it was, and what I'm getting at right now is like we joined the project when it was already pretty far into its life cycle, but
Sure.
in terms of getting our names up into the credits, it took forever, because it's like super low priority to like
Right.
update the credits versus, I don't know, there's some game breaking issue. But when it does happen, and when you have, in this case, like leads or whoever like advocating for you, for the testers to like get it in there, it means a lot, because otherwise, like, what do you have to show for it? Plus
Right,
it helps
exactly.
for future purposes that you have a portfolio, you can, whatever. So generally speaking, best experience would be that, to kind of validate it, which is
Oh, that's
kind of a
cool.
lot, but over answering it, I guess. But
No, it's good.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Sam says he has a lot of friends who are editors in big movies, and they always stay till the end of the movie credits. Yeah, that's cool. I thought that's why they always put the next Avengers movie is going to be like whatever. They always put something the after credits movie to
Well,
make you
yeah,
like,
it's
kind of
definitely
stay.
a way to keep people in their seats.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. Nice. I like it. That's a good question. Let's see. Okay, and then I think actually Initial was here to kind of clarify. He said, so his last question I think was, how do you feel it needed to change? He says, but it's like, what do you think these games needed to be public launch ready?
Oh, that's yeah, there's some other questions like that are
Okay.
similar. It depends. A lot of the questions that were asked have a lot of
Overlap and stuff.
subjectivity depending on the genre, the client, the level of the game as a whole. Is it AAA? Is it an indie? Whatever. how
Oh,
many
he says
platforms is it being
specific games that you
released
worked on. He says like which specific games you worked on. What do you feel like they needed to do to be like more ready or something? I think that's what he says.
Where is this question? Where is he writing this?
It's in the Discord chat. It's in the Discord chat. If you pop the chat out on the side, there's a
'Cause
Discord
I
chat.
have the Twitch chat open. I
It
didn't
also
see
you
that.
should see it in the middle, right next to your face. There's also
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess I can just look there instead. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
have the Twitch stream on my other
Yeah,
monitor.
you're good.
Where is his?
He's
I
the
meant
green
question
guy.
more specific the games you worked on. Like, okay.
Oh, which one was the most favorite? And which one was the least favorite game he worked on? Oh, okay. Well, he already said that, right?
Yeah,
Halo
so,
Infinite was your
okay,
favorite.
Probably favorite game to work on was Halo Infinite. Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun game to actually work on and play and all everything. And it was also a really good working experience with the Microsoft team. Least favorite, probably Call of Duty, mostly because Activision is a fucking disaster to work with. They've never done external QA before this project. So
It's always been in-house, right?
Yeah, technically in-house. They have a company called Raven Studios or something that's like internally theirs. But just the logistics of it was just everything was done on the fly.
They've been in the news
fun.
recently, right? Did you see this?
Yeah.
Their latest update just apparently just is the biggest like bullshit they've ever done. It just crashed the game completely.
Yeah. But besides that, I was not a fan of NBA 2K, but that's okay. I typically say it's better. I think it's better to work on something that you don't like, because when you start doing this work, it is very repetitive and monotonous, and oftentimes just doing the same thing over and over again with a new version of the build, checking if previous issues are fixed and yada yada yada. So you may get tired of the game. And if it's something that you were looking forward to, then maybe it ruined the experience for you. Or it can be the complete opposite, where you were super excited to play the thing that isn't out yet. Because like Halo Infinite's a good example. My team worked on campaign a lot, and part of the tasking that we did on a daily basis was new version of the game comes in, new build comes in. The team splits up the entire campaign into various groups, and they run through the campaign from start to finish. Every day.
What difficulty level? Do they play it on Legendary?
It depends. It just depends on what what needs to be done. Typically, depending on the tasks, you could do stuff on whatever they were called: normal, easy, legendary, epic, whatever they were called. But there would be times where we have to do a full playthrough, one person, fresh save, new account on this difficulty, on this, and get all the skulls, or use these, or whatever. So depending on your mindset, you can either enjoy that a lot or get tired of running the same thing over and over again. Versus, if it's something that you don't like, then maybe it's easier to have that mindset of like, this is just work.
It's objective.
Like, for example, I didn't work on Cyberpunk, but one of my colleagues did, and this was pre-release. It was already in a very bad state, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people
they
really
refunded the
about
game.
that game. Well, on like PS4, I think, but or they took it off the marketplace entirely. But the point is, it just depends on your frame of mind. So, yeah, favorite probably Halo, least favorite Call of Duty and 2K. But trying to think, yeah, that probably.
You would have liked to have worked on Cyberpunk though.
No, I wouldn't have, because I wanted to play it, and knowing what it was like at launch, knowing what it was even before that, it wouldn't have been fun at all.
I guess.
So,
nice. Yeah. PUBG says, how do you test the games, like through an emulator or with actual consoles? And if so, which console was your favorite?
Yeah, so not much is done via emulation or, let's say, not on actual hardware, because that's not how the end user is using it, right? Once the game is released, people play it on their devices. So in the industry, there's we typically use sometimes we use the simple term is dev kits, development kits, but that can be expanded upon.
Does it look like this? This is like a PS5 dev kit, apparently.
Right. So so what Geo has pulled up right now is specifically a PS5 dev kit. There's another, depending on who you're working with, whether it's a PlayStation game, an Xbox game, a Nintendo game, whatever, can be a difference in what dev kit or test kit means. Sony does distinguish between what is a dev kit and what is a test kit. If you type in PS5 test kit instead of dev kit, it's gonna look like a retail unit. So those normal looking PS5s
Mm-hmm.
are test kits. They come with the PS5 specifically comes with an additional box called a CP box, which was new for the PlayStation 5. It was really stupid. But basically, it was a piece of hardware that allowed the console to access debug modes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is done via some kind of hardware. And this is hardware that normally consumers in the real world, whatever you want to call it, don't have access to.
Right.
Because the only way you can get these things is by having a business licensing agreement with the manufacturer, in this case Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. And they don't want these things getting out into the wild. And in terms of using them, they're basically useless outside of
They don't
a
connect to like the
legitimate
online
testing environment.
store, or they don't do multiplayer type stuff.
So yes and no, but the simple version is that they need to be whitelisted in order to access these things.
Okay, got it.
And when you work in this industry and you buy these consoles, you tell Sony, you tell Microsoft, this is the IP range of our office.
Mm-hmm.
Whitelist them so we can access all
Gotcha.
that stuff.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, there's also specific software that goes with Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo to use the hardware the way it's meant to. So they're called SDKs or GDKs, or depending on what console you're working on. It's just software that you run on a PC that connects to the hardware to take screenshots, to record video, to get console logs, to set up specific testing environments or settings. One of the question about emulation, it kind of applies in some ways because Microsoft, actually Sony, all of the consoles can do this in some fashion, whether it's a PlayStation, an Xbox, or a Switch. I didn't work on GameCube or Wii, but back then the Switch was the most recent. The consoles can be set up to emulate or to mimic let's take Xbox for example, the One X or the One S or the Xbox One, the original one,
Oh, okay.
or the Series S or the Series X or PS5. Granted,
all
now
in
they're
one device.
finally, like, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
The PS4 Pros could do PS4 Pro, things like that. So there is a level of emulation, but typically that's not ideal because you want to test on something that's almost identical to the retail hardware. So I could try to find an image. I didn't think about this until right now. Let me Xbox One X test kits. Let me see if I have a.
These look.
Might be able to find it.
So these
later. I have,
XDK
like,
things.
Yeah. So okay. So don't move off this image. That is an Xbox. That's that on the right, the white one is called a Scorpio dev kit. It is a console that can mimic One X, One S, and One. It can do everything. And then the hardware inside of that is not the same as the retail kit. It has 2 hard drives. One is an SSD. This is before they even had those. It has, I think, 24 gigabytes of RAM. It has 2 Ethernet ports on the back. One's a 10 gigabit port. And then there's these buttons on the front. There's a small OLED screen that allows you to, like, have shortcuts to, like, quickly record video and all these different things. If you click on the other one, the one to the left.
This one?
Yeah, that is a Xbox One S, as in Sam, test kit. So it only does Xbox One S. The code name for that is called Edmonton. It's not used too much, but so there's a Scorpio kit, there's Edmonton, and then there's Durango. If you type in Xbox One Durango test kit, it's the OG, like, grandpa crappy. You need to get rid of the X, or yeah, that one in the. Just scroll down. Yeah, that works. Just scroll down on the left side.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah, in the middle there.
This one right here.
Up one. Yeah, so that it looks a lot like the original Xbox One, but there are different versions of the hardware, right? So nothing's inherently emulated. Everything's run on some piece of hardware. And this is what I was getting at earlier. Like being able to work on this stuff, this is not something you would have access to at home. You can't go to GameStop, Best Buy,
You just be
whatever,
like, yo, I want a test kit.
and get one of these. And even if you were to find one, like I don't know if people watch
Apparently
Linus Tech
people put
Tips or
them on
Gamers Nexus.
Yeah.
You know, these YouTube channels. There was a time where they bought an Xbox Series X dev kit, which is called a Anaconda or Scarlet dev kit. Both Linus and Gamers Nexus got access to these, and yeah, you can get one. You can buy the one in the middle, the gray one. Yeah. So it physically, not to the right. So it physically looks a lot like the white one we saw earlier, but it's different internals. If
They
you
got
were to get
access
your
to it?
hands on one of these and take it home, you would basically be able to do nothing. You wouldn't be able to access any of the dev kit, the debug settings, nothing, because once you try to go online or anything, the console would be flagged online. The IP that you're using is not whitelisted. Nothing would work. Nothing would happen.
It just
It's what
breaks down
happened
and
to them when they. Well, it just doesn't do anything. So
except take up
anyway,
electricity. That's cool.
yeah.
I didn't know this. I didn't know they had all these dev kits and whatever. That's super cool.
Yeah,
I thought you just got retail ones.
Not. So a lot of these images aren't real. Like that's fake.
Right.
You can run some stuff on retail kits. Xbox, Microsoft has like a kind of diet version of debug mode or dev kit mode that you can put on your retail kit at home. It's just heavily limited.
Yeah.
Sony doesn't have something like that, but eventually we do run things on retail kits once we get much closer to release.
Gotcha.
But almost everything is run on these dev kits. And then of course you also can test on Steam or Battle.net, and you're just running on a regular gaming PC.
Yeah, it's
There's
running
nothing
on a PC
really
at that
special
point.
there. In terms of hardware, it's just how do you get access to the build? So like for Call of Duty or any Battle.net game, typically they give you accounts that have access to what's called a PTR or public test realm, where, you know, on like Battle.net, you can change your region to like NA or Asia or whatever. So when you have these accounts, you would have just like a full list of like PTR 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on how they format it.
Oh,
And
very
then
cool.
it puts you into servers that are only allocated for this. Steam is the same way. It uses like a certain settings in Steam. You go into it, you can change the beta channel, and it puts you into servers that
Yeah, they're just
normally
running
aren't
the alpha
live. There
versions.
were some times, depending on, you know, what they're testing, where they will be connected with live servers, and that did happen with Call of Duty intentionally, but also unintentionally. If you remember, a while back there was some stuff with some Modern Warfare 2 maps, I don't remember, where there was content that was not supposed to be on live servers, but there was.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it's not intentional, but
Okay.
anyway.
Very cool. That's good. No, yeah, I like this because there's always a topic question, and we'll go down like some like side routes and stuff. Super interesting. I learned a lot from that already. Let's see. Vehicle's asking, next question, what is the most interesting bug you have encountered while testing a game?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, that's without over. Like, I could probably maybe think of something else, but off the top of my head, probably the most interesting was with Halo Infinite when we were working on it. We were primarily working on campaign. This was before it was released. If anyone was following it, the way Halo Infinite released was first with multiplayer first, like PvP, which was free, and then the campaign later came out afterwards. Kind of the same way that like Call of Duty does it, right?
Right.
You some of the content's free. So when we were working on Halo Infinite, there was it got eventually came out too. People found out publicly how to do it, but basically accessing split screen co-op in campaign when the mode wasn't even released yet or available. This was even before campaign was even out. There was a time I think they released like a beta of campaign, and then a lot of people were finding a way to get into co-op. So that was a pretty fun issue to deal with. Unfortunately, they canceled split screen. They canceled co-op entirely.
Oh, you can't even play co-op on
later on.
Halo?
There's no campaign co-op on
Oh,
unless something has changed in the
wow.
last like couple months.
I feel like that's
no,
like an
yeah,
integral
they
part of
scrapped that
Halo.
entirely.
I have so many core
It
memories like
was
doing
and it
co-op
was
Halo.
one of the one of the nicest, coolest things about that game that I like respected was that they were at the time including split screen co-op, so like couch co-op,
Yep.
and also networked co-op, and you could do both in the sense like if you were player 1, 2 at home, you
Yeah.
could connect with 3 and 4 online somewhere.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was very buggy issues, but it
Okay.
was getting better and better. My team was working on it quite a bit, and it was a lot of fun to see campaign in Halo.
Yeah, 4-person
And
co-op would be
then
dope
I
for like.
transitioned onto Call of Duty before the project ended. So then the game came out, and then later on they canceled the release of co-op, which was just a shame to see.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I one of my core memories was playing. I think it was Halo 2 when it came out, and I was at. It was called an Asian Leadership Conference. So in my high school, you had to go do these extracurricular things to get enough points for whatever. And my Vietnamese friends, you met them, Michael and Patrick. They're like my brothers, my other brothers. They would go to this annual Vietnamese leadership conference, and I was like the only white guy there. It was funny. But during the lunch breaks, we would go out to his minivan, turn on the car, hook up the inverter, and we would just play Halo 2 in the back seat, like playing co-op. It was super fun.
Yeah, I got introduced to my first Xbox was the 360.
Okay.
And I didn't have the original one, so I didn't play Halo 1 or 2, but Halo 3 came out and I was in college, and that game was so fun. I had lots of memories playing that. So
Yeah.
co-op is awesome, and a lot of games nowadays don't have that. So
Yeah, it's a shame.
To see that it was potentially a thing and then to see it go away was disappointing.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Half Alpha says, what do you think encourages crunch culture so much in the video game industry? How can this be mitigated? And then he has a side question on what's your opinion on cheese? I don't know if he means real cheese or virtual cheese.
Yeah, I was wondering what he meant by that.
Yeah, I got your question, Sam. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so he says crunch culture, because I remember, when you were working on some intense projects at Linebridge, you would call me and just vent and be like, yo, everything's just like fucked, right? You're just like, and do you think that's a lot of like crunch culture, or is it just mismanagement?
Yeah, I have an answer. I just was trying to find something, but
you're
I'll
good.
look for it later. It's not urgent right now. So crunch, yeah, it sucks. So what do I think? What do I think encourages crunch culture in the video game industry?
Is it just because we all procrastinate?
No. So I think, unfortunately, like this is the part of gaming industry as a whole that's just like not very nice and pleasant to think about, but it's just a reality, and it's just money.
Oh, okay.
Profitability, revenue, margins, however you want to phrase it. The bottom line that drives the gaming industry is, can you make money with this thing? And this is most obviously seen with the big AAA titles, AAA companies, Call of Duty,
Fortnite,
Blizzard, for all of them, right?
Yeah.
And what happens with this stuff is that unfortunately the people at the top don't seem to always care about the people lower doing the work and putting in the effort and like their well-being, because they don't necessarily see it, they're not there. So it's easy for them to say, oh, just put
get
more
it done
time in and we get it out, and it's
how many more
it doesn't
pizzas do we have to
affect me,
buy?
so it's fine. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like what encourages it? It's like it's simple in the sense that it's probably money and business, but it's also more complicated in the sense that like our whole world, like as a whole, revolves around this concept of like this concept of money to pay bills, to provide for yourself, to be able to survive, and like all the different factors that go into it. A lot of the times it ends up being people don't give a shit about others. They only care about themselves and the bottom line and how do I get there. So when you're in charge, of a company of making of like, oh, Christmas season's coming, we got to make sure that we're there in time to release during Christmas to blah blah blah, whatever it takes. But for them, it's easy to say that. So how can it be mitigated? I think it would require a massive change systemically of how the world functions, where priorities lie, which is like super optimistic, but
Mm-hmm.
and would probably take a very long time if it were to happen at all. But I think people need to become more patient,
More
more
humans.
selfless and empathetic towards others, care less about making lots and lots of money,
Mm-hmm.
and care more about making something of higher quality, ideally without sacrificing people's well-being. So you see things like smaller companies or smaller indie companies saying like, oh, we care about our people, we're not going to have crunch, everybody gets time off, things like that. And you see things like with other companies that they don't give
Yeah,
a shit at
Activision, they
all.
just don't give a shit. Yeah.
It also requires the consumers to kind of like
Vote with
take
their
a
dollar.
stand and maybe stop pre-ordering constantly and stop like
Mm-hmm.
providing, and like if there's no consequences, then they're just going to continue acting the same way, which is kind of like hippy dippy or whatever. But it's just that, unfortunately, that's the reality. Crunch only exists because we allow it to exist.
I see. Yeah.
So if like it's messed up, but like so and so person, developer, programmer, whatever, I'm gonna take a stand. I'm not gonna stand for this. It's like, all right, cool, we'll find someone else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that happens all the time. I mean, shit, Blizzard, Activision had all these like crazy things in the news, right? With all this terrible stuff going on, but they're still there. They're still making money. They're
Yeah.
still making games.
Bobby
They're still
Kotick still sold for
profitable.
$69 billion or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, so it sucks, and it's when you're able to work on something or work with a team where that doesn't happen, it's a lot more satisfying. So
I feel like maybe this happened to you
even
with.
on the,
You're gone. You're gone. Gone. You're good.
I was just gonna say, like crunch also happens like on the QA side of things. Like crunch, most people think of like the development, people making the game, but it also require like they go hand in hand. So when they're working on stuff and then there's a requirement to work on it, to test it, to you do the QA, there'll be times where we got to pull long hours and it's just like tiring, and like what's the point? What were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I was going to say you were in charge of, I feel like you were kind of at an in-between spot in your job, right? Because, you weren't the highest up that you're being a scumbag saying just get results, I don't give a shit. But you were kind of like the liaison in between where you were responsible. How many people did you have on your team? I mean, how many people were you responsible for?
Yeah, so depending on the project, it varied. But on Call of Duty, we started I mean, I guess the initial team was like around 60 people, but it grew toward upwards of like 400.
400, wow. And
Yeah,
you're having
and
to
it
like kind
wasn't
of defend these people from like the higher ups.
yeah, so at that size, it's not like I'm interacting with everyone. It was pretty traditional kind of military hierarchy organizational structure where you have me and then a couple people underneath me, and then under them they have a couple leads, and then the leads have a team of like 20 people each or whatever. And it all kind of funnels down. In terms of our roles, my roles, it was like every day meeting with the client, the Activision team, going through what the plan was for the day, and then on our end we execute.
Right.
So in terms of what mattered to me was getting shit done, providing good service, working hard and doing all that stuff, but not by no means like doing that while sacrificing people's well-being. Like
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if things are going to run late or I'm going to get yelled at or whatever. If people are like dying, quote unquote, or like have to work 12-hour days just to do the bare minimum, then something's got to change. So, I mean, I did as much as I can to be an advocate for people, but unfortunately, a lot of the things that I was frustrated with was my internal leadership team that was like, they say, "Oh yeah, thanks for putting in the hard work, and we really appreciate it." And then like a couple weeks later, they're like, "What's going on? Why is it so hard?" It's like, "What's going?" It's like, "Are you were here? You saw what was like?" They're just naive and blind and ignorant. So it's like, "Oh, you guys don't actually care."
Yeah, they
So,
don't. Yeah.
thanks, but no thanks. Like I'm gonna
Yeah, blah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Because something with working long hours. I remember talking with you about how hard it was to get people to work on the weekends, and maybe you can talk about like that. I remember you saying you were just always ordering food, right? Trying to get these people, and maybe talk about like how big these pizza orders were and like whatnot, and maybe the Activision, what they call it,
I
the
mean,
social
it's kinda shitty.
budget.
Like, I'm not like, and I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, incentivize people just with food, because it's not enough. A lot of the issues we were having was pay gap and pay issues and stuff, and some of it's legitimate, but some of it's not so much. When you like, I tried to see both sides of the fence, but when people are complaining
Mm-hmm.
about low pay, they also have to realize that this position, an entry level one especially, requires zero experience, zero professional like
No college
credentials.
degree.
You just need to be alive and be able to follow instructions. That's like the super bare bones, like brash version of this.
Yeah.
But there's also the factor that like all of this, I just talked about like profitability and crunch and shit, but the real shit is like it is a business. It needs to be profitable by some means. So like Lionbridge, external vendors, whoever, they charge a rate to the game company,
Mm-hmm.
and then they pay their people internally. And the simple version is, what's the net difference? That's the
That's a
profit.
profit.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're paying your people X amount of dollars, but you're only charging like X plus $1, your
Profits only
margins are really low.
right.
And there's so many factors that come into running a business. You know, when someone gets hired, their accounts are created, they have licenses for Microsoft stuff, they have to get benefits and all this stuff, right? So many things factor into what is someone getting paid. In terms of motivating people to do more, to work overtime, to work extra hours, to come in and do more, it's kind of like a slap in the face, be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get like more pizza or Jimmy John's or like this or that. But like, yeah, I was making insanely massive orders because like my senior leadership didn't give a shit. I was like, all right, cool, got a credit card, let's do it. I don't care. But you know, the bottom line is like, yeah, the food's nice, but like pay us more. It's like, I wish I could, but like, you know what? Just log more hours, put in overtime. I don't care. Like
more
just
pizza.
Put it in correctly.
Buy more pizza. How big were the order? What was the official name for it? The budget. What was the budget called that they called it? There was a funny name for it.
I don't know what. Fun fund maybe or something.
It was the fun fund or something, or it was like company morale fund or something.
It's just super like out of touch.
It's tone deaf,
and it felt tone deaf. Yeah, and it felt like, and I knew it and acknowledged it, but I tried so hard to like not be that person, but at the time, at certain times, I knew that there was a perception of that, which is rough because you don't want to be that like
pizza party.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the meme, right? Like,
yeah,
of the pizza party thing.
Or please don't form a union.
Thankfully, I mean, over time, the pay did increase quite a bit, and there was a lot of at least for Lionbridge and where I worked, there was ample opportunity to make more money. Just at the end of the day, some people are just really fucking lazy, and they just need a reality check at times, which is a little harsh, but there were some questions later on I'll get to about like,
we'll get to them,
making money. But it is relevant.
Cool. I don't know, opinion on cheese. Do you like cheese?
Oh, opinion on cheese. Yeah, was it like a question like cheese in games that like being lame or being exploits or things like that? Is that what the
we'll see if he says. Half Alpha, are you in here? You in the chat? You can always type. I mean, dietary. I know me and you both love cheese. We love cheese. Cheese is great.
Oh, I mean, cheese is
W cheese.
That's dope.
We love cheese. What's your favorite cheese? Actually, that's a good question. Yeah, it's got to think. Mine's Havarti. I love Havarti.
I don't know. I like quite a few different ones. Pepper Jack is a good stand.
Pepper Jack salt. Yeah.
Stuff.
Nice.
Munster, Provolone, Swiss.
We can get. I can go forever with cheese.
Manchego.
Manchego, yeah.
What's that? Like kind of soft cheese that you
Feta?
get in Brie.
Oh, Brie.
No,
yeah, Brie's
Brie.
good too. Brie's good.
Super good. Yeah.
Nice. If you're in the chat, let us know what your favorite cheese is too. I'm curious.
Yeah. In terms of the question of cheese, I took it as
like the fluff on a video game, maybe. Is that what they call cheese?
No, like cheese. No, cheese is typically a term used when someone, whether it's an individual or it's a team-based thing, whatever, does something can be perceived as lame or exploitative or just like outside of the spirit of the game or the competitive spirit of the game. So, for example, like in Overwatch, team-based shooter, right? Back when
Triple
it was
heavy.
6v6. Yeah. Okay. So if anyone plays the finals, right? Triple medium, all running defib, all running heals. It's pretty cheesy where it's just like, okay, cool. Like we kill one and then they just res and they come back, right?
Yeah, it sucks.
Or like Overwatch, Overwatch 1 when it was 6v6, there were different metas, different strategies, having 2 tanks that both have shields, and then having a Bastion and having like a Junkrat or something, and just being bunker comp, and it can be considered cheesy. It just depends on
Yeah.
it's pretty subjective. But my opinion of it is that it kind of just depends on your point of view. I like being able to find, I don't want to call it exploits, but ways to work within the system that you are in
Sure.
as
Maybe if it
as
wasn't
much
intended
as
that way.
possible. Like,
Yeah.
well, like games are interesting that way because you have an architect, a designer, or whatever that creates whatever you're doing, and they may have a vision in mind, and they may set up the rules
Sure.
in such a way that they think that this is how it should be played or how it should be done. But when you give it to a mass population, someone is going to find a method to do something that wasn't intended, but it still works
Yeah.
within the system that they're
yeah.
given. And some people, depending on the severity of that, it can be game breaking or just meta changing or whatever.
Just change it the whole way.
It can be. I like being able, like when I play MMOs, I like to get an Excel spreadsheet and break everything down into numbers and min-max everything and find a rotation that's as optimal as possible and test things and gamify even the game itself.
Yeah,
right?
sure,
So
sure.
it just depends on how you like to approach things. When it comes to, Overwatch or finals or whatever, getting into the nitty-gritty of the frame data, of cooldowns, of how much damage is something doing, how to animation cancels. I mean, fighting games is big with that, right? So fighting games, you have frame data of like startups on jabs or this or whatever. And some people don't like that. They don't like the numbers. They just want to play by feel. So
Yeah, it's cool.
in terms of cheese, it just kind of depends on how annoying it is.
I think Fortnite was like this. So originally when Fortnite was created, the building stuff was supposed to be just regular shit, and then kids started like getting spazzy with creating towers, and that was like apparently not even intended.
That would make sense. I don't play it at all. I'm very unfamiliar with like the history and meta of that. But
I can't play build mode.
Imagine that being a thing where like building was set up in such a way that to be like maybe to facilitate something in terms of like be the actual mode, and then people finding new ways to like go crazy and
make the towers.
Like I saw a thing in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Where Matt Mercer, who's a voice actor and like streamer and all these things, he plays Cassidy and Overwatch and a bunch of other things. But he had a video of him streaming Baldur's Gate 3 where I guess he found a way to like stack barrels vertically. And then at the top of the barrel, he used some ability to like teleport onto. Yeah. So he's using crates to create a tower.
Okay.
And then he's at the top of the tower, and then he teleports into a fortress, which normally you're not supposed to have access to. But he found a way to do it in this sandbox. Like you have the tools, how you use them are up to you.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that's not really.
So this is kind of cheese.
Anyway. Yeah, not necessarily cheese, but like, I don't know, whatever. It's, if you're given the tools to do something and you find an innovative way to do it, you shouldn't be punished.
Yeah, go for it. Exactly. That's cool. Nice. All right. Nick's question's next. We went over this a little bit, but we'll have you go in depth. It says, what are the qualifications to be a video game tester?
Yeah.
And does it make you a lot of money? Because I'm thinking about becoming one.
Yeah. So I talked about it a little bit earlier, but the qualifications, they will vary depending on the company that you're applying to. But typically, an entry-level position of like starting at the bottom of a game tester typically has zero requirements outside of being able to legally work in the country or state or wherever you are. Typically have a high school diploma and be of like legal working age. It's very simple. In terms of being successful and good at it, ideally you like games, like, because I mean there are people that sometimes just do it as like a side job for whatever reason and they don't game at all. They don't do well because they don't care about it. But I have a passion for gaming, be able to follow instructions, be patient, have good work ethic, ideally have really strong problem solving skills, and familiarity with various platforms is always a plus. You'll get trained and learn new things as you are working there, but if you're already familiar with PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Steam, Blizzard, mobile testing, or mobile devices, iOS, Android. It'll make things a lot easier when you are given
If you're just familiar with it.
an Android phone. You've only used iPhone your whole life. Well, guess what? Now you have to test on, some Galaxy tablet or something, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to already know that. But in terms of like real qualifications, there typically aren't any. If you go to like Blizzard or Riot or Microsoft or Sony or whoever, and you look at game tester job postings, if they even have them, they may have some requirements depending on what they're looking for. But entry level things, this is one of those things that you can't really learn or
You got to
prepare
learn
for
on the
until you
job.
actually do the. Yeah,
It's on
it's
the
not like
fly.
you go to school and get a degree in QA. There are programs that will help you, but a lot of the stuff is just internal and you don't really get access to it until you start the job. So in reality,
Mhm.
there's not a real big barrier to entry. Anyone can start at the bottom, at the beginning, at entry level.
He was saying, do you make a lot of money? I guess. Well, this probably varies, right?
Yeah,
on your
so-
position.
It does, of course, and that's another thing that varies a lot. So it depends on what company you're working for, where you're working, like California, Texas, Idaho, New
Mhm.
York, Canada, whatever it may be. They're going to pay differently. But typically, an entry level position is exactly that. It's entry level, meaning entry level pay. I doubt it will be minimum wage, but I don't think anyone should expect enough money to be able to support themselves completely on their own with that pay
Oh,
alone. So like, for example, we had like 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, 22, whatever age person. And they're starting off as a tester. And let's say they live alone and they have to pay rent
That's
and
hard.
bills and a car payment.
I think most people
whatever.
just live with their
I doubt-
parents.
I doubt that the starting pay will be enough to support all that. Typically, what I saw and what I would recommend is start as early as you can and stay at home for a year or two, save money,
Save
or
up. Yeah.
get roommates, live with people, find a way to cut your costs, because the reality is that you got to start somewhere. But with any company, there's going to be opportunity to move up, to make more money, to move into bigger roles. So you can make it a profession, like a lifelong career. You can definitely make money. Just at the beginning, takes time.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Jamarcus said, what was your most memorable experience as a video game tester? And then I think we already did the funniest, weirdest bugger glitch, but maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I answered this. Most memorable experience was probably, just working on things that I didn't expect to, getting access to hardware that I never thought I'd work on, or
because we
seeing
nerd out, we geek out about
the-
hardware all the time. We're hardware geeks for sure. Right?
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
I mean, it was cool to see all the Halo Infinite game design documentation from years past, and also what they were going to plan for the future. And then memorable experiences, and as a whole, seeing the credit stuff is really cool. And then bugs, glitches. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. But
You got some cool swag too. Remember, you got me this coin. I got this coin.
oh
right?
yeah, that's a good point.
You got some good swag, right? We got some
yeah.
swag. Got some swag.
Yeah, I got these like. So working on Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 and 3, they gave us. Oh, did my camera just cut out?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh no,
You're
it
so
was
good.
just your stream.
It freezes every once in a while. You're good.
So let's see.
Yeah,
this
got a
can-
little coin. We got matching coins. You sent this to me
yours?
and a shirt.
Let's
Oh,
see
does
if
yours
I
have
can
does
get
yours
this
have
in
your name on it?
focus.
Does it have your name on it at the bottom?
It does.
Uh,
It's not gonna focus because I have the
okay.
manual focus on.
it's okay. It's okay.
Let's see. Yeah, whatever. So it has my name in there, and
That's
then
cool.
we got one for Call of Duty for Modern Warfare 3 as well.
Yeah. Ah, sick. cool.
Yeah, it is lagging or something on your end. And then I got like a shirt. I think did I give you one?
You gave me a shirt. I definitely got a shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, it says just launch team on the back, and then I have a poster. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you got the poster. So shout out to my buddy David Chester. Thank you for watching, dude.
That's dope.
DC, I gotta get you on as a special guest for this next. That would actually be pretty cool, DC, because DC does a lot of like quantum gravity and really cool out there stuff. So DC, I'd love to have you on. This is the first time I've had an external guest, so we're checking it out. Ooh, there we go. What's up, Ethan? Wow, that's super cool.
Dang, what is that? Modern Warfare 3
Modern
now?
Warfare 3 poster. Yeah, that's super cool. What do you want to ask Ethan real quick before we keep going?
Did you
I actually hadn't
That's-
opened that up yet. I got it a little while ago. It's just, some swag test team.
Oh,
Kind of
nice.
looks, it's neat. So the swag is cool. Some of the other projects, other teams got like, when I worked on Forza Horizon 5, I actually forgot
Ooh,
about that. That was a
Forza.
fun game.
We got some people that like Forza.
So-
Initial loves Forza. He's a big Forza guy.
Yeah, Forza was actually totally forgot him until right now that I worked on that. That was cool. When that came out, we all got like the premium $100 version or whatever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's not always going to be a thing, but when you do get some swag, it's always fun. That was a freaking disaster when it started. It was like hilarious to see that game run on old hardware.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people think about how Call of Duty, Forza, it releases on current gen hardware.
Yeah.
The Series S, X, PS5, whatever, but they also release on the previous gen, Xbox One, Xbox One S, One X,
Mhm.
because people still have those. Like it's a massive
Yeah, it's a big proportion.
percentage. Yeah, especially on release of the new stuff, like when people couldn't get anything. So the game still had to run on old ass hardware,
Yeah.
and these games are not meant for that. So
No.
like the Durango, the original Xbox One, Forza Horizon 5 would go into like single digit FPS.
Frames?
It was,
Single digit frames? Oh, no, dude.
yeah, it was bad. Eventually got better, but like
I
it
like
was
how the
funny to see.
finals is only next gen now, which is nice. I mean, it kind of sucks because some of the kids that want to play, like they don't have the next gen consoles. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse when
Yeah, well,
something is-
things have to move forward because otherwise, if you keep trying to make sure stuff is backwards compatible, it it just the
Yeah,
game
so
suffers.
I mean, Cyberpunk is like a really good example of that. They tried to make their game work on everything,
Yeah.
and it was just a complete disaster in terms of performance and stability on the previous gen hardware, PS4 especially.
Yeah.
In fact, on release, the best I recall, the what was considered one of the best platforms to run it on was Stadia, which no longer exists.
Whoa, the
at
Stadia!
all.
Wow, yeah, that does not exist at all anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway,
Nick-
yeah, swag's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, swag's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Nick brings up a good concept. We are giving out a PS5, yes. So, yeah, if you're watching here and you want to win a PS5 so you can come play the finals with us, join our Discord. I'm going to give out some more information about
crossplay.
that.
I wish more games had that, but the finals does, which is
The final
sick.
sense, which is great, yeah. Although there's always there's arguments where people are like, oh man, like keyboard mouse players are playing with console players. It's not fair,
I mean, we can have a full discussion about that later. But
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
I mean,
Aim assist, right?
finals actually, finals addressed it, and even Call of Duty is
Finally
Activision's
addressing it.
as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Taco Cat says, "Who is the inspiration you becoming a video game tester?" Yeah, is there someone in your life that inspired you to be a video game tester? That's cool. That's a cool question.
Oh, I didn't see how it said who was the inspiration. I thought it said what.
Or it could be what.
Who?
We do who and what. Yeah.
I mean, who? I don't. No one. Myself, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like
I
a
kind of
character.
touched on it when I
Yeah.
started, like my bio or whatever. But really, just the inspiration was trying to find something that I would like to do, that I would enjoy as a job.
Yeah.
That was the super simple version. I was just like not happy working at the job I was at, so I wanted to do something I enjoyed, and I like gaming, and without having any professional or educational background in coding or whatever,
Right.
I looked into a way to get into the industry, and that's with QA.
Nice. DL No Rod asked, "What coursework do you have to be?" I think you said there's no coursework. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
yeah.
still, so there's no real prerequisites to become a game tester. That doesn't mean that you can't take.
Maybe talk about
something
how do you
to-
work your way up? How did you work your way up from being just a tester to then being a manager? Is it just just do your job and be good, or like what happens?
Yeah, kind of. So it heavily depends on business opportunity is what they call it. When like you're not gonna get promoted necessarily just because you've been there for a long time.
Oh, okay.
It's not all tenure matters, but it's not automatic. Oh, I've been there a year, now I'm this. Been there a year and a half, now I'm this. 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason behind
Why we're doing it?
creating new roles. Typically, when a project grows or it's a new one and they're adding more to it, there's more opportunity. But that's going to happen at any company you work at. And typically just being proactive and asking your lead, your manager, whoever, what do I need to do in order to move up? What are the ways I can move up? Can I become a manager? Can I become a programmer? Can I get into the development side of things? Just depends on what you're interested in. In terms of like prepping yourself and making it easier on your, for you, or having, more potential, or, being more
Better chances.
attractive as a
giving yourself
better
more
chances.
opportunities.
It depends on what you want to do. So if you want to go into the development side of things and start looking into learning how to code and learning whatever languages or engines, or like Unreal Engine 5 is huge, right? So like learn how to use that. Look into the various software and tools that are used in the industry, which is something no one probably knows, but like you can start Googling like QA testing databases, right? So some of these tools are Jira, Microsoft ADO, TestRail. Things like this are programs that we use all the time that you're not going to have necessarily a lot of access to on the outside, but you can start becoming somewhat familiar with these things. Jira especially, or even Microsoft ADO, you could learn SQL because they use a kind of proprietary version, and they call it JQL instead of SQL. But like different types of coding is very useful.
Okay.
And it's kind of a time and waiting game, and asking and being proactive, because like one of the tracks that's very obvious is moving up into becoming some kind of lead manager, people role.
Okay.
But then there's also roles that are more programming based, that will require some coding knowledge.
Yeah, some knowledge in the back. Okay.
So you can prep yourself by just, starting that way.
Cool. Let's see. Next question. Beep says, is video game testing as easy as it seems? I don't know why they think it's easy. I think from what you described, it's not very easy.
I like this question.
Yeah. Or is there more going on behind the scenes? Yeah, you go on. Go on for it.
Yeah. So, I wrote an answer to this, and I'm fine with the answer, but I'll try to see it the right way to explain. At the simple foundational level, it is a very easy job, because it does not require any real technical skill or knowledge. So in terms of being technically difficult, it's not. But that doesn't mean that it's you can phone it in, and it's I guess I don't know what the right way to phrase it. It's simple, and in that sense it's easy, but you can't be lazy.
You have to have discipline.
And think that you think you're going to be successful. The reason that it's in any way hard is because most people that, in my experience, at least so far, managing and working with others, is that their level of expectation of what it means to put in hard work is not, in fact, real. So people are lazy, or they want to find shortcuts, or they don't want to do the work, because the tasking itself is not hard. Do this thing, follow these steps, log your bugs, use this format, use this structure, just boom, 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 boom. But it can be incredibly boring, or monotonous, or repetitive, or just not fun. But sometimes work isn't. I talk about wanting to enjoy your job as a whole, it's great. But there will be times when you're like, dude, I have to do another golden path, critical path playthrough of starting at level 1 all the way to the end. I'm fucking tired of this.
Yeah.
Can I move on to something else? Maybe then you can reach out. Hey, can I work on some other task, and whatever. But in terms of difficulty, it's not hard. But can you do it? Is a different question. Will you do well?
It's not it's not mentally draining, but yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, like you have to be, you have to have morale, I guess, or character.
I mean, like, okay, how about this? Like, every day, make your bed. That's not hard.
I don't even do
But
that,
will
dude.
you
I'm
make
the worst.
your bed every day? Every day, make it. It's a simple
Yeah.
task.
Yeah.
I don't make my bed every day, but I'm just saying that analogy is applicable here. It's not hard, especially at the beginning. Now, when you do start getting into it more, spending more time, getting like starting to work on more complicated tasks or just being exposed to more behind the scenes stuff, there is that type of stuff, right? You may get tasked by the devs or whoever to work on something hyper specific where they need very like tuned in, whatever. I can't think of the right way to phrase it, but like, we need you to do this exact thing, run these programs to log this data,
Yeah.
and have the console.
So a
set
lot
up
of
this
attention to
way, and it's
detail.
just-
A lot of
yeah,
attention to detail.
Very much. Yes. Very much. Attention to detail is massive and very important. So
Okay.
you do eventually get access to more behind the scenes stuff for sure. And then you could say it's a little bit more complicated, but you're going to be given all the necessary tools or instructions or resources in order to do these things. You're not going to be expected to just like, hey, day one, do everything. You've never seen this before. Why aren't you an expert at it? Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Cosmic said, "Hello Zev, what did you major in college if applicable? What core memories do you have as a video game tester? How can you tell whether a game is labeled as good or bad? Have you worked with the Halo series? If so, what's your favorite?" So there are a lot here. A lot of different things.
Yeah. And some of these things we've already talked about, but I'll just go over it anyway. My degree in college was in biomedical engineering, a bachelor's of science, which is kind of like learning a little about a lot of different areas of biology, medicine, physiology, things of that nature with an engineering like aspect. So I didn't end up using it in a professional sense. I really enjoyed learning. I love STEM. I think it's very cool, but I didn't like the idea of working in a lab and just doing all sorts of tests
pipetting
all
and
day. Like
stuff.
it's not fun for me. But I like that. I like it, like learning about it, but I didn't want to do it as a job. Um, so in a sense, the degree as a whole, like in terms of the subject matter, was not applicable to this. But
Right.
what is required to complete an engineering degree or to have that mindset is useful and applicable. So like soft skills, problem solving, time management, attention to detail, working with others, ability to learn new things, being able to handle multiple things at once, chaotic environments, things of that nature, definitely helps out here. Doesn't mean you have to have an engineering degree, but you know,
the things you
it
learn
helps.
along the way really help you. I say this all the time with students when they're like, why the fuck am I learning chemistry? Why am I learning this? And I'm like, it's not exactly what you're learning in the class. You're learning the process of how to solve problems in a certain way. And this is applicable for many other things later in your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the like
It
I don't know.
applies to
Yeah,
everything.
I can't
That's
think of
just
a
how.
better way to phrase it. Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah. There were
Core
more parts
memories,
of this.
lots of different stuff. Just being able to work on different games, different genres, different companies, indie games, AAA games, large, small. Seeing how things are before they're released, or like how the sausage is made, the process behind different things. Working with hardware, the dev kits, that's a lot of fun. The swag, you know,
Yes,
that's
we love
cool.
the swag.
So,
Swag's dope. Swag's dope.
yeah. In terms of good or bad, it really depends on it's subjective, right? It depends on a lot of different things. What is a good game depends on, you know, the genre, the platforms it's on, what one person is into, someone else may not be. So for me, bad game was I don't like NBA 2K20. I don't play basketball. I don't like basketball games. I barely like sports games that it is. I mean, I played soccer growing up and I love sports in real life.
But FIFA's like
But
super
sports
intense to
games-
play.
Ugh, not
Ugh.
for me. I don't like it. It's not
There's
fun
too much
for me.
fucking. I just
But
button mash on.
that
FIFA.
doesn't mean it's a bad game, but for me it's not fun.
Not your
Now,
play
in terms
style.
of something trying to objectify this concept of good or bad, you can kind of think along the lines of like stability, balance, overall performance, graphic fidelity, in-game content, whether there's a lot or a little.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of depends. So typically something good has I don't know. More isn't always better,
Yeah.
but oftentimes it kind of makes up for maybe something being less substantial, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked on Halo Infinite. It was awesome, a lot of fun. But really, the only Halo game I really played was Halo 3. I didn't play ODST or any of the other ones.
Yeah, I didn't play 4 Ghosts. What was it?
And then I played a little bit of Halo Infinite on launch. Oh, actually, that was a cool one. We got some in-game content that was exclusive to like basically, you had to be given keys from.
Oh, you got stuff
Microsoft.
in the regular game when it came out where you're like, oh, I was a dev. I get some like special
Well,
camo
not necessarily a dev, but
cosmetics.
it's indicative of somehow working on the game one way or another.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
there was like special skins for weapons that you literally. It's like it's content that you can't buy. Like for finals is a good example.
Yeah.
Finals has content that you purchase that are just cosmetic, right?
Right.
But the finals had multiple betas before it released, where they gave certain skins. I think basically the short version is like if you reach diamond rank in ranked competitive, they gave you a diamond skin for X gun, which you can't buy, which you can't get now ever again.
Right.
So it's cool. It's fun. It's exclusive. So like Halo Infinite, we got some stuff like that. We got like special helmets and like flaming heads and like unicorn skin or something. So there was some cool stuff like that where right at the very beginning, like me and a couple other people that were that worked on it and playing, and people were like, "Oh, what is that? How do you get that?" And it's like, "Ah,
I worked on the game.
Feel special for a minute."
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Teacups. Also see. Okay. What are the key components that make up a game, and how do you prioritize potential problems during testing? And what are your thoughts on the framework laptops? I've never heard of. I'll pull up a picture.
Yeah,
of framework.
I'll get into that too.
Okay, cool.
So key components. It also depends heavily on the game, what genre, what platforms, single or multiple is it being developed for? Is it single or multiplayer? Online, offline functionality? Is there an in-game purchase system? Lots of different factors. But on our end, how do we prioritize things? Depends on a couple factors. Oftentimes, it depends on the timeline or life cycle of the project. Are you coming in on the very beginning? Are you in the middle? Are you towards the end at release? That will change things. And also, are you working at an external QA vendor like I was, or are you working internally? Those will change what is prioritized, what is being tested, things like that. So on our end, we would have like daily meeting stand-ups, whatever you want to call it, with the client, go over the daily test plan given from them, and then we would execute it internally. So typically that's how it works. Sometimes the expectation of the external vendor is to do everything. But it just depends on the size of the project. One of the first projects I worked on led was for a French publisher called Asmodee, that all they do is like digital versions of board games. So the first project, I actually really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Game of Thrones.
Ooh, Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones.
So
besides
there's
last
a
season.
game called there's a game called Game of Thrones, a digital board game. And it's effectively Risk in the Game of Thrones universe. But it's a digital game. So like, you can play Monopoly, right, on a board, but there's also Monopoly Go. So
Oh yeah, this looks like Risk.
Yeah. It's effectively Risk. And it's a fun game. It's cool. But the client, like, there was like nothing provided from them. They were just like, "Hey, we need testing." I'm like,
just test this game
okay,
first, dog.
Yeah, pretty much. So I had to figure out ways to approach this. And, thankfully this game isn't very complicated. Single player, multiplayer, cross-platform, this, that, whatever. And we would do it on our own. But something like Halo or Forza or Call of Duty, there are different teams working on different parts of the game, different features, different aspects, whatever, different consoles, different platforms. So it's prioritized typically by the developer. Internally, it would be probably the same way. You would just be on a team. They would say, hey, we need to work on this today, this week, this month. And
Just
then,
get it done.
you know, when you get closer to release, they highly prioritize certain things. Yeah. Oh, and framework laptops. Geo, that framework laptops is like
What are they?
they
Is this the one where
it's
they
like
they're
this-
like modular or something?
Yeah, so it's this company that is starting like this modular repairability hop swap laptop.
I don't believe in
and
this.
It's cool. I think it's neat. It's a cool idea, but I have a hard time seeing them being very successful.
Yeah, it's just
Mostly
because
because
the tech advances too much, right?
There's a couple things. I think it won't be that successful, mostly because the average consumer doesn't know enough, or they
Right.
don't care enough
Yeah.
to have about the ability to swap out parts to upgrade their thing or whatever it may be, whether it's for upgrades or repairs. I mean, the layperson wants their just shit to work and they don't want to think about it.
Right.
Like, there's a reason Apple products are so successful. But it's cool.
It's a
having
cool
the option for it.
concept.
Now, how well will it work? Yeah, I mean, especially in the laptop world, like mobile motherboards and everything, like future proofing them. I have no, you know.
I feel like
it's
form
cool.
factors change too much, and then there's also an immense amount of heating issues, right? These things are engineered like to the tits to be as small as they can, as thin as they can, and you have to put all these weird heat pipes and everything in different areas to like get laptops to, you know, not overheat. So I don't know, like building around that with modular stuff, I think would be like really difficult.
Probably is.
You know, with a desktop, right? You know, if I put a 4090 in here and I'm cranking a bunch of heat, I just buy more fans because I'm like, okay, I need this tower to cool down. Otherwise, I'm gonna throttle. But I feel like on a laptop, if we start swapping out parts and it's like, oh, well, now this thing's overheating, you don't really have a way to stop it from throttling. Like it's just gonna throttle. Yeah, that's cool. Do you remember when they did the modular phones, like the Project R? Do you remember this idea?
Yeah, so that I don't think ever happened, but there
Yeah.
is a device that is available now. I forget what it's called, but there is a phone where you can replace the parts. I forget what they call it.
This also comes down to like repairability of things. It's just like they just don't work sometimes.
Fair phone. That's what it's called.
The Fair phone? Well, of course they would call it something like that. Fair
Yeah.
phone. The Fair phone.
What's funny is that like one of the features is like you can replace the battery.
Oh
Which is
wow.
something that you used to
Dude,
be
we've been able to do
all the
forever.
time.
Dude, yeah, fuck all the you know, and I love this claim of, oh, it's for the waterproofing. Like, we can't have you replace the battery because then it's not waterproof. And I'm like, okay, sure. But the real reason is we know the battery deteriorates and you'll have to buy a new phone once the battery deteriorates.
Yeah, it's called planned obsolescence.
Planned obsolescence. Yes. Okay. Nice. Here, what let me I think my Discord's like hanging on your video, so can you try turning your camera on and off? Maybe like it'll reallocate the resources on it. There we go. Cool. Try it again.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, you got it. It's not on your end, it's on my end. I think Discord, after I've been like on a video call for like an hour and a half. And this is what we're doing. We're testing this. This is our first time doing another guest, and so I'm trying to figure out all the technical stuff of this. Yeah, let's see if this actually wants to allocate correctly now so it's not stuttering. It still kind of is. I should probably get a new we were talking about this, right? I need another 16 gigs of RAM, and I need to upgrade
Double your
this.
RAM. That's
Double
the
my
biggest
RAM.
thing for you right now. And
Yeah,
a CPU.
Yeah, my CPU, I'm not using that much right now. My CPU is only at 50%. But you're right. My memory is almost maxed. I'm at like 12 out of 16 gigs. Yeah, I'm gonna get more RAM.
Gigs
Yeah, dude. No,
man.
can't do
Not
shit.
enough. RAM's
Can't-
cheap, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna get more. I'll do that today. I'll
Especially
get more RAM.
DDR4, which is what you're still running. So
Exactly. I just gotta make sure I don't have to like take
Yeah.
apart my whole thing. Oh, Sam says, Zev, show the setup. I don't know if there's an easy way for you to show your setup. I guess I could pull up a picture you sent me, right?
Yeah. So let me.
Do you want to like just text me a picture and I'll pull it up?
No. I should be able to join in with my phone, and then I can video from that, right?
Okay, yeah. You can do that. Yeah, just mute the phone, I guess, and I'll pull it in.
You're telling me to mute.
Oh, your phone. Whenever you
Says
join
the
in with
guy
your
that runs his speakers with the mic.
I'm terrible. Okay. Yeah, let's see it. There you can see this is my other camera. See, oh no, there's two Dr. Golds now. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's pull it up. Wait, why can't I view? Oh, you were streaming for a second there. Let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay, there we go. Cool. Discord doesn't want to hang on me. Oh, there's the doggy. Yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the setup. Yeah, you just spent a lot of time installing this new wall mount. I remember for this.
Can you hear me right now? 'Cause
I can.
I'm using the phone mic.
I can hear you.
So yeah, I completely redid my desk setup to where the monitors are mounted to the wall.
Yeah.
And I just mounted these speakers, and I need to figure out a way to like clean up the wiring.
My
so
wiring
it's
is
not
terrible.
like ugly.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this is kind of cool. I got my
It's got the Funko
Funkos
Pop.
all- yeah. And I got Gold Life helmet. And these guys.
Uh-huh.
And then I just set up some of this stuff in the back. Like, I don't know if anyone knows what this is.
Let's see. Oh, I can't make that out. Is that a tape player? Is that a record player? What is that? Master System?
So it's Sega's first home console, the same generation as the NES.
Okay.
And then I just set up my SNES and a GameCube.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. Yeah, they got the
that's
old school
a-
console.
Japanese. Yeah, and that's a Japanese copy of
Naruto.
Naruto fighting game. Yeah.
Show the PC. Show
But yeah.
closer up of the PC. They probably want to see the PC. Yeah, wait for it to buffer through. Nice. Yeah, it's clean with all the white. Yeah. Nice. People are saying, Dr. Gold, can we get that PC? you want to donate your PC to the stream? Oh, I like the everyone does this. They put a character inside in their computer screen.
I got Marty McFly. There's a Rick in there, a Bastion, and that's Melina from Elden Ring.
Oh, Elden Ring. Okay, cool. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's see. I think we've been here for an hour and a half. This is good. Let me do let's get people started on the
Yeah, I'm not sure how the quality looked for you, but I can take.
It was
pictures
good.
Later.
Yeah, you can also submit some pictures. It was a little stuttery because it's coming from the phone, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. I think when I get more RAM, maybe my Discord will be yes, the kids are saying take more pics. They want some pics of your they say 6 setup. Some of the kids are like, we don't want this to end. They're like, no, don't have to make this end. I'm like, well, eventually do have to make it end. Anyways, okay, cool. Let's do here. I'm gonna do first so I said I would do a giveaway for Discord Nitro at least. So anyone who asked a question gets entered, and then anyone who's in the Discord or the Twitch, I'll enter you as well. So here, let me pull up who put questions in. So we had what was it? Initial, put in a question, vehicle half alpha, Nick, Jamarcus Taco Cat, Nick.
Question.
You did ask a question, yes. Taco Cat.
I didn't hear much since I was out.
It's okay. You're okay, Ethan.
What was the
I
answer?
sent you pictures directly, Gio.
Okay, sick. I'll pull them up. Ethan, Jamarcus, Taco Cat, DNL Ron. Oh, oh yeah, Habib, Cosmic Teacup, Habib,
Your
Cosmic.
screen.
Yeah, no, one sec. I'll get it. Because I'm having to go between a couple screens. Okay, cool. Sam. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Habib. Well, Habib submitted a question. So if anyone else who's not on this list that's in either the Twitch or the Discord chat, please like ping yourself or like say hi. And I'll add you to the spinner wheel. We're gonna give out. Sam, I think I have you here. I have you at the bottom, Sam. I got you. Yeah. You had a good question. I liked yours. Taco Cat. Taco Cat, I got you here. I got Taco Cat. I got you, Taco Cat. Yeah, you're good.
It's like named my win again.
Let's see. So it's funny. The PS5 that I'm giving out to you guys for the next tournament, I won from one of these things. It was so funny. PUBG, yeah, PUBG, you're here. PUBG, what's your username in Discord, PUBG? What's yours, PUBG Lux? Are you also PUBG? What's your Discord name? It's just easier because that's how I give all the gifts out. Oh, Cosmic. Oh, yeah, Cosmic, I have you. Cosmic, I have you right here. You're good. I have you. Can't get entered twice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Here, let's do it. So, this is going to be for the Discord Nitro prize. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Who's going to get it?
All right.
Let's see who gets-
Let's just see Nick.
Nice! Good job, Half Alpha. Very cool, Half Alpha. You won some Discord Nitro. We love that.
That's dope.
All right.
Really close.
And then Zev, so I'm going to give also out a $20 gift card prize. And I said I would give it out to the best question that determined by you, who you think asked the best question. If you have multiples, we can also do a spinner wheel between like maybe your top two or three picks. But if there's one where you're like, this person was dope, just say that. It's fine. Everyone has great questions, by the way. I love all the questions. I love everyone's questions. I really appreciate them. They really contributed to the conversation and whatnot. But we got to give out a winner at least.
I think
Oh,
the crunch question.
The crunch. Who asked the crunch time question?
Half alpha.
Half Alpha. Okay, cool. Half Alpha. You got the best question. Half Alpha, you win both. Half Alpha wins the Nitro and the $20 gift card. Nice, dude.
That's
Oh, I
dope.
didn't-
Nice.
No, it's okay. You can, because the first one's completely random. So nice. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. I think that's all the questions. I think we've been going an hour and a half. I think it's a good amount of time, right? I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. You have fun with this, Zev?
Yeah. No, I mean, I love podcasts in general, and I like to talk about things that I care about. So,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, it was a
And
good
now-
time.
Now you're part of one. Sick. Okay. All right. Well, let's thank everyone. Everyone, let's thank Zev for coming up on the podcast. For the first special guest of the Golden Hour podcast stream. Cosmic says he enjoyed it. Very informative. Yes. Thanks, Zev. Yeah. I think a lot of the kids really love this. This is dope. So yeah, I appreciate that, Zev. Coming up on this. Let's see. Yes. Same. Sam says the same thing. Yeah. So okay. Our next stream is going to be on Monday. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you found us here on Twitch and whatnot, please join our Discord. You can always just say !Discord here in the chat. That will pop out the link to join. We do math and science free tutoring on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday, which is today, we have our Golden Hour stream where we're going to have special guests on every week. Everyone from all sorts, whether it's gaming or science or whatnot. I like this idea of getting some cool people that we know to answer some questions from you guys and learn more about stuff. Good idea. Chester says, DC says perfect guest, Zev. He says perfect guest. Good idea and perfect guest.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Taco Cat says W stream. Thanks, guys. Also, yeah, we're going to be starting up the spring semester tournament soon. I'm giving out a PS5, so if you want to win a PS5, join using, there's a link in the Discord, or you can just go to, I think it's register.actual.education is what it is. That will get you, it's here, let me pull it up. It's this. Yeah, just go to register.actual.education. There's a Google form there for you to sign up. Just a little bit of information, and then once after I'm gonna give people like a week to sign up for it, and then we'll start the activities. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a bunch of different things that can earn you points, and at the end of the tournament, which will probably be sometime in maybe April or May, we'll do a big giveaway for top 10 or something, and we're gonna give out PS5s, all sorts of fun prizes. So join up on that. That's gonna be fun. Nick says, Nick, you already have a PS5. I should
Yo,
technically
pull up my video.
Yes.
I brought Magnus over.
Okay, let me see. Did you text it to me? Where is it?
No. Like, put me on.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. My bad. There you go. There's Magnus. We love Magnus.
Nice.
Yeah, it's such a big doggo. Have Magnus stand. Have Magnus stand. Have people show how how tall
alright, hold
Magnus
on.
is. Yeah,
Hold
one
on.
sec. Magnus is huge. Yeah, look at Magnus.
Hey.
Look, this is a big doggo. One sec. Look how big this dog is. What? Big floof. And Zev is not short. Zev is not a short guy. This is just a massive dog. That's too cool. People are saying, is that a dog or is that a human? It's like, let me invite
Yeah.
these. All right. Dun, dun.
Yeah, I think you need to find a different way to do this. It's
Yeah, the video lags at the
hella
end.
stuttery.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't stuttery at the beginning. It was fine during the beginning, and then towards the end, the Discord video just starts stuttering. Maybe we'll do
Yeah,
like
I'm
a
not
Zoom
sure
call
what-
next time. It's
Yeah,
probably
I'm not- yeah.
It's probably some sort of like memory leak or whatever thing. You know, that after enough time, like Discord just starts choking on itself, like doing a video stream.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Why
Thanks,
do you
everyone.
Look like TG gamer. What does that mean?
Who's TG Gamer? Why do you look like TG
Oh,
Gamer?
basically,
I
he's
just-
like, guys, I know who he is.
Who is he?
He's
wanted
TG
to ask
means
that from
typical
the
gamer.
beginning.
Oh,
Andrew.
it looks like TG Gamer.
Yeah.
Yo, you actually do look like TG Gamer. I'm sorry. This
Yeah.
is you, dog.
Dude, it's
Dude,
just
he's
like
a fucking
fucking glasses and facial hair and a hat. That's just
Yes, dude, he's TG Gamer.
I wanted to ask that from the beginning. Yo.
I can't believe we
I
got
don't want
T-
to be rude or anything. Yo.
Oh, I don't know if it's rude. TG Gamer looks dope, dude. What? Dude, he's probably
Yeah.
worth a
But
lot,
he's
dude.
a Fortnite sweat, okay?
He's a
He
Fortnite
does
sweat.
look-
He does look like
Yes, obviously.
Dude, his net worth is $23 million, dude. Dude,
Yeah,
I would
I'm
love
not
me
there
too.
yet.
Yeah, not there yet.
That's dope. All right, we get it. we get it.
That's dope.
Okay. All right. I'm
And I love
gonna.
having my username as Gold Life on Fortnite.
I like that too. Yeah, I
He
like
has
when
over
you guys.
14 million subs on YouTube.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, he's crazy, bro. He's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream. I appreciate all you guys coming here. Zev, thank you so much for being our first guest. It was super awesome.
Wait, who
I'll-
won the?
we're gonna.
question?
What's your last question before I close it out? What's up?
All right. Did you ever try out? Have you ever tried out GTA 6 yet?
No.
Because
I don't
it states okay.
Yeah, I don't think he has. Yeah.
Because
I
it
don't
says
think-
you. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, no, he hasn't tried GTA 6 out yet. That's probably that's kept like pretty like close in or something. Sam says, "Come visit Zev. Come do something fun." Yeah, we would do something fun. Yeah, I still haven't met Sam in person. He lives down the street from me, dude. What? I've known Sam for like 3 years. I've never met him in person, dude. Sam. Okay, when Zev
He lives
Zev has
down the
come.
street from you.
Zev has visited us before, so yeah. No, Zev will come back to LA. Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. All right, I'm in the stream. We're gonna play Fortnite tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, so come by then if you want. Also, if you play the finals, me and Zev play all the time, so please add us. We'd love to play some games.
Yeah, the carry
The
is free.
final got a nice
The
time.
carry is free. Okay.
It's
All right.
confusing.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you on Saturday. Thank you.
Talk-